After landing heavy blows on each other, Ichigo Kurosaki and Byakuya Kuchiki decide to use their strongest attack. As their ultimate moves clash against each other, Ichigo is drenched in his own blood, and his wounds reopen after an intense final clash. He refuses to go down and remains standing, holding on to his sword thrust into the ground. Meanwhile, Byakuya slowly walks away when blood spurts out from his chest. He declares Ichigo to be the victor before disappearing with flash steps. Now, let's look back at what caused this epic showdown between these two adversaries. Remember to like and subscribe, and also leave a comment to let us know if you want any special encounters analyzed. First encounter, a wall to overcome. Ichigo and Byakuya first met in the human world when the latter took Rukia back to Soul Society. Ichigo initially fights with Renji, and Ichigo overwhelms him with his vast spiritual power. As he lunges to finish him off, Ichigo is surprised to find his blade torn in half, with Byakuya holding the other half. As Byakuya prepares to pull out his sword, Ichigo tries to fend him off, but Byakuya easily gets past him. Unsure of what happened, he quickly realized he had been cut as blood spurted out of his chest, and he slowly fell to the ground. He was too quick for Ichigo to follow, and even Renji struggled to see the entire thing happen before him. While bleeding out, Ichigo holds on to Byakuya's foot. Still, realizing that Byakuya wouldn't hesitate to cut Ichigo's arm, Rukia runs and kicks his arm away, pretending to distance herself from him. Second encounter, a fated rematch. Ichigo makes a grand entrance by flying into the Palace of Penitence, where Byakuya stops Ganju and Hanataro from escaping with Rukia. Even Captain Ukitake of Squad 13 was surprised by Ichigo's spiritual power, which he claims is of captain level. After briefly reuniting with Rukia, Ichigo quickly confronted Byakuya on the bridge. Byakuya quickly rushes to attack him with flash steps, but everyone is shocked to discover that Ichigo can see through his movements and block his attacks. Irked by Ichigo's newfound confidence and provocation, Byakuya activates his Zanpakuto when Yoruichi Shioin arrives and stops him. She explains that he is not strong enough yet to defeat Byakuya, who knocks Ichigo out and escapes. A diamond in the rough. Who is Ichigo Kurosaki? Ichigo is your average teenager forced to become a temporary soul reaper when a hollow attacks his family. Although growing up, Ichigo is able to see ghosts when he was tricked by a hollow when he was young, resulting in him losing his mother. Since then, he has become overprotective over his family and friends with a complex sense of honor to avenge people who have caused harm to them. Throughout his battles, he eventually discovers the hollow that lives within his soul, Zangetsu, which allows him to manifest his powers during battle. The Warden of Justice. Who is Byakuya Kuchiki? Byakuya Kuchiki is the 28th head of the Kuchiki clan and the captain of the 6th division of the Gotai 13. He is Rukia's adoptive older brother after her sister married into the Kuchiki clan. He is shown to be apathetic towards others and extremely calm, even in battle. As the head of one of the great noble families of Soul Society, Byakuya strongly believes and upholds law and order, even if it is to turn in his adoptive sister for execution. Ichigo versus Byakuya, a match to last a lifetime. After rescuing Rukia and entrusting her to Renji, Ichigo confronts Byakuya in a long-awaited rematch. Round 1. They immediately clash swords, but when Byakuya struggles to overpower him, he is forced to retreat when Ichigo blasts the ground around them with a powerful thrust. Seeing he couldn't overwhelm him with strength, Byakuya charged at Ichigo at super speed with flash steps, but Ichigo could follow his movements and block his attack. Seeing both strength and speed weren't enough, Byakuya unleashed his Shikai to send swirling cherry blossom petals at him, but Ichigo blasted them all away with his powerful Getsuga Tensho attack, which even sliced through the ground they were standing on. Byakuya was shocked to see a powerful attack from Ichigo that cut through his Senbonzakura, while Ichigo provoked him into using his Bankai. Round 2. Acknowledging Ichigo's new strength and inability to hold him down using only his Shikai, Byakuya unleashes his Bankai, the Senbonzakura Kageyoshi. He drops his sword and it phases into the ground like a pool of water. Within seconds, giant blades rise from the ground, shattering and turning into cherry blossom petals. Ichigo quickly rushes towards Byakuya, but his Senbonzakura Kagayoshi blocks his attack, where it freely changes form to attack its opponent or defend its master. Ichigo unleashes another Getsuga Tensho attack, but Byakuya easily blocks it. Unable to defend against it all, Senbonzakura Kagayoshi completely swallows him up and forces him to the ground. Byakuya describes his Bankai as a relentless barrage of 1,000,000 blades, simultaneously attacking his opponent from every direction. Round 3. Forced to the ground, bleeding, Ichigo claims it was foolish to think he could finish the battle without using his Bankai. This irked Byakuya even more, unable to believe that Ichigo could have unlocked the final stage of a Zanpakuto, which only high-level Soul Reapers can attain. After channeling vast amounts of spiritual power, Ichigo unleashes his Bankai, the Tensa Zangetsu, where he is seen wearing a black robe and his sword shrinks into a Japanese longsword. Byakuya is furious and prepares to attack him with his Bankai, but Ichigo instantly gets up close and points his sword at Byakuya's neck, much to his shock. Although he already had him at sword point, Ichigo backed away, infuriating Byakuya with his arrogance. Round 4. Byakuya relentlessly attacks Ichigo with Senbonzakura Kagayoshi, but struggles to catch him. Ichigo tries to attack him up close, but Byakuya blocks his attack. Ichigo then uses his super speed to run around Byakuya, creating afterimages that confuse him. When he struggled to catch up to him, Byakuya used his palms to direct his attacks, making it twice as fast. Although Ichigo skillfully dodges each of his attacks, Byakuya corners him into a cat's cradle to swallow him up. But Ichigo bursts wide open, slashing each petal around him. Caught distracted by the amazing feat, Ichigo sneaks up from behind and stabs him in the chest. Round 5. As his blood drips to the ground, Byakuya offers it to turn into spiritual power to manifest his Bankai's true form, Senkei, where the scattered petals turn into 1,000 glowing swords to encircle him and his opponent. He describes this as abandoning his defense while focusing entirely on killing his opponent. They clash swords, to which Byakuya has caught up to Ichigo's speed in his Bankai form. Ichigo struggled with Byakuya, using only one sword, and the latter then used another sword to pin his leg to the ground. He then casts the high-level Kido spell Byakurai to send a surging bolt of light through his shoulder. Byakuya explains how his Senkai doesn't make him faster, but that Ichigo is slowing down.
限界だな、Kurosaki Ichigo.
動かねえ。
Round 6. As Byakuya delivers the final blow, Ichigo pleads with his trembling body to move. Suddenly, Ichigo catches Byakuya's blade and lands a fatal injury on him. The hollow inside Ichigo's soul takes over his body and thrashes a wounded Byakuya. He sneaks up on Byakuya and lands another lethal blow with a black Getsuga Tensho that bends to his will. As he is about to attack Byakuya, Ichigo regains control and breaks free from the hollow. Ichigo apologizes for having their fight interrupted. He then asks Byakuya why he didn't try to save Rukia, to which he claims he will answer his question if he manages to defeat him. Round 7. Having said that, Byakuya prepares for his final attack, the Shuke Hakuteiken. As he absorbs the scattered sword fragments to form a single sword, drastically increasing his spiritual power, while manifesting large white wings and a halo on his back. Ichigo explains how Zangetsu never showed him amazing techniques except channeling all of his spiritual power into one attack, the Getsuga Tensho. As the two face down for their final attack, white and black spiritual energies clash against each other, and we are back at the start of the video. Results. When they clashed, Ichigo's blade shattered Byakuya's sword, and he landed a fatal blow on Byakuya, as seen when the blood spurted out of his wound on the shoulder. Although Byakuya conceded, he could very well have defeated Ichigo, who struggled to even keep himself up after that last clash. He later realized that Ichigo was never his enemy, and was only fighting against Soul Society's law. Byakuya leaves and concedes the battle to him. That's all for now, and thanks for watching Epic Animated Encounters. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more action-packed showdowns.